Did you buy an Xbox One, PS4, or Wii U on launch day? Then you made a big mistake. Let's see why. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the VMC Inc. Financial News Network. I'm Victor Campos. So, did you make a mistake by buying a game console on the launch date? Well, let's take a look why yes, you made a mistake. Now, if you bought one of the 8th generation game consoles recently, you either bought a Wii U, a PlayStation 4, or an Xbox One. Maybe all three of them. But if you bought any of them, you made a mistake. Not for your choice of console, but simply because you bought a console instead of company stock. So let's check this out. The Wii U was launched in North America November 18th, 2012. If instead you had bought stock in Nintendo, you would have paid $16.51 and bought 18 shares. That would have been about $297.18. The sale price of the Nintendo Wii U was $299. If instead you had bought a PlayStation on day one, that was November 15th, 2013. Shares of Sony were at $18.50 each. And so you would have gotten 21 shares for $388.50. We're not counting fractional shares, so there's a little bit of money left over here, because launch price of the PS4 was $399. What if you bought an Xbox One a week later on launch day? Well, that was for $499. You could have bought 13 shares of Microsoft stock at $37.57, coming out to about $488.41, no fractional shares. And also, I'm not counting commission prices, so you'll have to figure that out with your brokerage. But let's say you bought these amount of shares for each of these companies. I'm using TD Ameritrade to show you the value of investing in the game console companies instead of the game consoles themselves. Check the description for a special offer from TD Ameritrade. So I've got a watch list here where I have purchased stock in Nintendo, in Sony, and Microsoft. And I purchased enough quantity on the first day that I was able to after the launch of the system. So in my watch list here, I have shares of these various game console companies. On the first day that I bought Nintendo shares when the Wii U debuted, shares were worth $16.51. Now, shares are worth $18.20. That is a 10.24% increase. I bought shares in Sony a year later, 2013, for $18.50, and now it's worth $22.93. That's a 23.95% increase. And I also managed to buy Microsoft stock on launch day of the Xbox One instead, and that was for $37.57, and now it's worth $51.85, which is a 38.49% increase. So, if I instead spent my money on purchasing shares of the company, I would have $1,485 instead of $1,174. I would have had at that moment about $22.91 left over, which could have bought me one more Nintendo share. But if I had bought the shares in the company and waited a little while, the value of my investment would have increased to $1,485.52. So do you see why it was not a good idea to buy an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or Wii U? You should have instead bought shares in the company. Now, this isn't even taking into account dividends. Dividends, of course, are little payments that the company makes you on a regular basis. Nintendo pays a dividend that we can see here, 13 cents, 12 cents, 18 cents, etc. If we were to have had those 18 shares in Nintendo throughout those years, that would have been an extra $7.74 that Nintendo would have paid us. And if we had reinvested those dividends into more shares of Nintendo, we would have more than 18 shares eventually, 19 shares, 20 shares, etc. And each one of those shares would continue to pay, increase in value, and pay dividends. Same thing for Sony. Sony also pays a dividend. Its stock pays you as you hold on to it. So here, if we look at the last few years, we're seeing 13 cents, 12 cents, 12 cents, 8 cents. If we held on to our stock during these dividend disbursement dates, we would have had an extra $4.20, again, to help us purchase more shares of Sony and therefore to continue to increase our holdings. And now with Microsoft, if you had invested in Microsoft on launch day of the Xbox One, you would have gotten a steady source of quarterly dividends. And those would be in the range of 23 cents, 28 cents, 31 cents or so. The most recent, 36 cents. So doing the math, that comes out to $32.37 more that my investment in Microsoft would be worth simply by owning the stock. That's almost enough to buy another share. Again, little by little, incrementing the number of shares that I have in each of these companies. So once again, you should have bought shares in Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft instead of buying a Wii U, PS4, or Xbox One. But it's not too late. You can still invest in these great companies and watch your rewards increase. Because eventually there's going to be a PS5, an Xbox something or other, and a Wii, Nintendo something in the future. But buying stocks will always pay you back. This has been Victor Campos for the VMC Inc. Financial News Network. See you next time.